Welcome to another episode of Spotlight here live at Next Summit New York, and we're at the OpenFortune booth with Dylan, and he's the head of brand partnerships at OpenFortune. So welcome, Dylan.
Thanks for having us, Stuart.
And so what we're going to talk about today is, the customer acquisition costs and the difficulties that operators are facing in the digital space. They're all fighting for the same attention, basically, from players. And so tell me, with that competition that's going on, what makes you different? What makes OpenFortune special?
Sure. You mentioned digital and also social, programmatic. Those are channels that are used time and time again by every single operator. And so we realized that when we looked at the gaming category, we're an amazing solution to stand out from those other platforms and not only drive phenomenal CPA numbers, but also actually be a memorable experience for these operators, where when they're reaching an audience at the dinner table or after someone ordered delivery, they'll actually remember the brand. And I think it's becoming a little bit of a lost art for operators where they care about UA, FTDs, registrations, and that's great, and they need to continue doing that to survive. But can they also provide a very memorable touch point? So when someone opens up a fortune cookie and then goes to Google or Meta, will they actually remember the brand versus being essentially blind from the operator of who they are and what they do?
Well, it's very true. And I mean, banner blindness and advertisement blindness is just very, very common on the digital spaces nowadays. But what OpenFortune does is it brands inside a ritual created by the love of like a fortune cookie, the unexpected inside that fortune cookie as well. Why does that environment create such a powerful moment for brand activations and brand engagement compared to that traditional advertising approach?
Yeah. If you look at the fortune cookie, what it's been for 100 years, it's a piece of paper that people are choosing to open because they're really excited to read a message.
Yeah.
And so all we did is take this untapped, unused inventory on the other side and use it as a marketing vehicle. And so when you look at, again, like we said before, the other platforms, those were created for people to look at. This is the opposite. This is created because people were already looking at it. And so when we talk about a memorable experience, an age-old tradition that people enjoy amongst friends and family, that's exactly what we're doing. We're sparking and injecting brands into the conversation that's already happening. People are already talking about luck and fate and future and fortune, and then we're taking your brand and saying, come join the conversation.
Well, I mean, it's a perfect affinity between fortune cookies and the iGaming space.
Sure.
There's the affinity there of luck and fortune, so it's a perfect combination. I wonder what's next for OpenFortune. Maybe some Christmas crackers at the dinner table, as well. That could be your next venture into more untapped advertising space. That'd be very cool.
We have 3 billion cookies to go through. But we have some pretty interesting stuff that could be prototyped. Maybe there's a fortune taco on the way. We'll see.
Yeah, more edibles for sure. Many marketers see these offline activations, however, as purely brand marketing. And maybe that's a misconception that you would like to address here on today's show, is that how can that experiential and real world touch points actually drive measurable performance and acquisition for a marketing team?
Yeah. If you think about casinos, it's all about emotion. How can a blackjack table, a sports game, a football game, having your team win or lose, it's all driven by emotion. And so when someone looks at our platform and is determining if they want to work with us or put more paid ad dollars into social, our argument is that put some of your dollars towards something that actually sparks this emotional concept that we provide. And so we did a study a few years ago, and it determined that the first real conversation people have in a day is dinner time. And so people go to work, they drive to work, they work, they talk about all the nonsense that goes with your day-to-day in the office. And then when you sit down with friends for dinner, it's all right, what are you doing for fun? What are you doing with your family? And that's why it works so well with gaming, because it's an emotional conversation, an emotional asset, combined with a brand that's trying to spark emotionality.
it becomes that memorable moment, doesn't it, at the dinner table? And that's very true. I wouldn't have thought about it that way. Also, gaming is super competitive. And what would you say are the lessons that you've learned from working with casinos and gaming operators about actually making that marketing truly memorable? Have you learned anything from actually working with your customers, your clients?
Yeah. I mean, we have so many conversations in the space, and the original misconception is, all right, your brand, all right, your performance, all right, you are something else. And we're inventing something new, a totally new marketing channel. And really what we are is like this brandformance where like it's memorable, it sparks conversations, but people are going to Google search, people are going to scan the QR code, people are going to remember, so when they go to that third touch point, it'll be more impactful. And so it's almost awkward in a way to determine and express what we are, because we made up the rules, hence why this came to be, but also there's so many ways to measure it. And so we're going to have perfect partners that see the big picture, but then we have partners that we need to almost educate them on what this actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. My final question is, for operators looking to actually diversify beyond that traditional digital channel, it feels quite weird to even say that digital is now traditional, but it is very true.
So crazy.
What role should that unexpected moment play in that modern acquisition mix?
Our phrase from the get-go has been fortune favors the bold. And so you need to make calculated, bold plays. And as OpenFortune becomes more of a household name in the category, it's maybe not as bold as it was 2 years ago, but it's still a move and a chess piece that someone as a brand can make to have some flavor, to have some spice, to do something different. So your more traditional, frankly, boring channels that are effective but provide no value in terms of building the brand name, you need to add 20, 25, 30% into something that people actually will turn to their buddy and be like, did you see this? Like, huh. And that's what we provide, but also the data to back it up.
Well, if fortune favors the bold, let's give this one a try.
Let's do it, brother.
Let's open one up.
We're going to read it our fortune out loud?
Yeah, let's see what our fortunes are. Hopefully there's no bad ones, right, in here?
It may say you may get lucky in your future.
I hope so. Let's give this a try. And also, I can see on the back, we've got the branding already.
All right, so who'd you
Mega
get?
Riches, I got.
Mega Riches. Shout out Marco.
And what I have is, you will uncover a hidden talent of a close friend. What's your hidden talent?
Boom. You don't want to know my hidden talents. You will soon find great thrill from an unlikely source. Jackpot City.
Jackpot City. See, and I got Mega Riches, so there's a lot of variety as well with the different brands that you have on it.
Totally.
Yeah, we've got 2 different ones already. That's awesome. That's very, very cool. And see, in the past, that would have been a blank space.
Blank space.
Nothing on it.
Nothing.
It's genius to just, brand it.
Sometimes the best ideas are simple. That could be a fortune.
Yeah, maybe.
It's true.
Yeah, Christmas crackers being the next one.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Dylan, for taking the time. And it's been a pleasure talking to you.
You're the man.